Hi, I'm Tarrant.
And I'm Stella, and this is Meeple University, What to Expect from Robin Hood and the Merry Men.
Released in 2018 after a successful Kickstarter campaign, Robin Hood and the Merry Men is a semi-cooperative, two-level worker placement game based on the English legend of Robin Hood. It was designed by Ivana and Wojciech Krustewski, Maja Matowska, Tony Toshevsky, and Martin Poole, and published by Final Frontier Games. The game plays 2 to 5 players in the semi-cooperative mode with an estimated duration of 25 minutes per player. From a complexity standpoint, the game is heavy on rules with medium gameplay, and as with most cooperative or semi-cooperative games, combines tactical decision-making with some randomization and push-your-luck elements. The game comes with 3 additional modules which can be integrated into the base game, as well as modified rules for solo and fully cooperative modes of play. In this video, we're showing you the deluxe edition of the game, so some components are upgraded from the base retail version. In the game, players play as heroes from the Robin Hood legend, fighting against the evil Prince John and his overtaxation of the land, and evading arrest at the hands of the Sheriff of Nottingham. Players will be earning victory points through their efforts to foil the villains, for barricading and robbing the royal carriages, by capturing and fighting the sheriff's guards, and by sending envoys to King Richard in the Crusades, as well as by compiling the best band of merry men followers. Players are fighting against each other to score the most victory points to win the game, but at the same time they need to work together to prevent the villains from winning, because if Prince John ever takes in enough tax money to deplete one of these piles of pennies, or if the sheriff ever places enough guards to overflow the main board and fill up this guard track, the game will end immediately and all players will lose. So players need to proceed under an uneasy alliance to balance out which actions help their own games against the actions which serve the greater good. The game's core mechanic is worker placement, and each round is broken into 2 separate phases of worker placement, the Merry Men phase and the Hero phase. In the Merry Men phase, players one at a time place a Merry Man Meeple onto an action space on the board to take its action, going around the table clockwise until each player has placed 3 Merry Men. Merry Men will primarily take the basic actions of gathering resources and money, and then spending those to build barricades, build traps, and send envoys to the Crusades, which are the 3 actions which will earn the majority of a player's victory points. When placing a Merry Man, players must also play a card, and the game involves a hand manipulation element, whereby a player can take stronger actions by discarding their played cards, or can take a weaker action by playing a card into this personal pile, which will be worth endgame victory points. So players need to balance the economy of their actions against the benefits from playing the stronger cards. Taking stronger actions also puts Meeples into locations where they risk arrest at the hands of the sheriff's guards. The player whose Merry Man is arrested has to pay a fine and risks losing victory points if the Meeple remains in prison at the end of the game. After the Merry Men phase, play passes to the Hero phase, in which the player's heroes perform the glamorous freedom fighting actions like robbing, fighting, and winning archery tournaments. On a player's hero turn, the player first draws and resolves a villain card, which adds guards to the board and advances carriages towards the castle, which takes the players closer to their collective losing conditions. Then, the player takes 2 hero actions, moving onto the board to do so. Heroes will spend much of their time robbing carriages or fighting the sheriff's guards, each of which is resolved with a roll of dice of matching colours. If successful, this hurts the villain's cause and raises the player's reputation, which makes their barricades, traps, and envoys worth more points at the end of the game. Heroes can also try to jailbreak arrested merry men, earning victory points and resources as rewards for success, or compete in archery tournaments for money, and these are both, again, done using a roll of dice. Money earned by heroes and merry men can be given back to the poor, which earns victory points and reverses the villain's progress on the guard or taxation tracks. Dice rolling does form a major part of Robin Hood, but in all cases players can exert control over their own luck by spending wine tokens to re-roll dice, by choosing in advance to roll more dice than the minimum required to improve their chances of success, or by pressing their luck in a sequence of die rolls for only as long as the odds remain in their favour. After 5 rounds, or 4 rounds in a 5-player game, if the players have not lost the game through one of the basic losing conditions, the player with the most victory points wins. The game can also be played in a fully cooperative mode, in which the strength of the villains is increased and the team needs only to survive 4 rounds to win the game, and in a solo mode, in which the player commands 2 heroes, but the villains are increased even further in strength. And the game offers several solo scenarios, including facing an ordinary setup to meet a victory point target, or facing a more powerful villain setup and needing only to survive to win the game.
And that's what to expect from Robin Hood and the Merry Men.
We hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to learn the rules to this game in full, you can click on the link in the description to check out our how to play video for the game.
And if you'd like to hear more from us, please click on the Meeple in the corner to subscribe to us.